People, you either got to hear my little going live song or not, because while I'm hitting all the buttons, I'm also singing a little song to myself. Hello, beautiful people, we're gonna do some use your moons. I am putting my fizzy water into my indestructible cup of awesome. Have you hugged yourself today? And even if you have, do it again because it feels good. Please say hello. Tell me where you are tuning in from and what you are most looking forward to in the February astrology of it all. February's a lot, y'all. We're going to color code the moons for February of 2026. And in going over what to expect for February 2026 last night, I went, it's not your imagination, people. It's not your imagination. The world is a lot. It's a volatile month coming up. It is one where creativity is up, but also volatility up. So we're going to talk about how to handle all that. Good to see you, Rain. Thank you so much for saying hello. Thank you for joining me here today. For those of you who are new to the experience, we need to grab a February calendar. Month at a glance is what I use, but you can do it however you like. I've got 6 different highlighters, and technically I need 5 highlighters and then 1 black Sharpie. And then I will use that 6th highlighter. I will. And then some kind of marker or pen to write the information onto the calendar. I am also going to put my rings on because I realized I did not do that yet because I was so excited about getting started on time, which I never do, that I neglected to put my rings on. And I definitely want to put my rings on because my hands feel naked without it. And then I got to shake down my hands because, well, not that it matters because my hands are covered today in my little wrist support thingies. So when we turn on my overhead camera, we're actually not going to be able to do any kind of hand modeling. But I mean, it's like finger modeling more than hand modeling. Anyway, I've been doing a treatment on my nails and it's actually working. It's working more on the right hand than the left hand because I'm left-handed, so I use my left hand more, and so those nails get abused a little more, and therefore take a little more effort to get growing. I want to always start us off with a little divination dice. And so this is what we're dealing with, our divination dice. 1 is the planet, 1 is the sign, and 1 is the house. And I always want to just kind of do this to sort of set the tone for our Use Your Moons time. Don't break! Oh, that just totally dropped on the desk. And that's one thing about amethyst, or, I mean, amethyst is pretty hardy, but in general, I want to be careful with these because they're so pretty and I don't want to break them. All right, we're going to do it on soft things, which is why into this marble bowl, I put it on the velvet little what's this thing called, pouch. All right, Uranus. I said we're going to be talking about Uranus, and I believe we got Uranus previously. I wonder, Uranus seems to really like to show up for me. Uranus is the planet of where am I not free? It's the planet of let's go fuck shit up. It's the planet of, you know, I'm going to come into this space and anything that looks like it is constricting or boring, I'm going to shake it up. And it's going to be like a nice lightning and thunder situation. So Uranus always makes us more free, but it can be a little agitaty in the doing of it. The sign that we have is Leo, and I love a fire moon. Leo moon, we're not, I mean, in a Leo moon right now. We are in a fire moon right now. We're in Sagittarius moon, so that's got me thinking about, oh, I love a fire moon. It gives me so much more energy than I have otherwise, and the fire moons are great for me to get things done in a way that I have trouble sourcing from within my own chart. Leo is another one that's like that for me. Leo, of course, is the sign of leadership and leading from the heart and stepping into the spotlight, being seen, taking risks, being frisky, having fun, making things feel really good, because why not? And then the 12th house, that is the house of imprisonment and your self-undoing, potentially. It is also the house of dreams and having conversations with the beyond and folks that are on the other side of things. I like the 12th house also for mental health. It is a great place to deal with things that may be a little harder to reach in our day-to-day lives, but I like this little combination. This is not astrologically possible anytime soon, because Uranus takes 84 years to make its way around all the signs, and it is currently in Taurus, finishing up its work there, and then heading into Gemini. We will be talking about that as we do our months of use your moons. Let's see if I can. I was trying to get that to pull more on camera. There we go. All right, but I don't want to block the whole situation over here. But anyway, all right, Bonnie, stop rearranging furniture and let's get to it. Okay, I was complaining that I was too cold in here earlier, and now I'm already too warm, this is why I get my hair up off my head. Up off my neck. So this is the part where, all right, Teresa, I'm doing my hair for you. I know this is always your favorite part. Bonnie's doing her hair. Hey, Deb Marie, glad you could join us. Thank you for sending me the Moon is in Scorpio, Be Gentle Post-it note picture that I could not find. I'm not even embarrassed to talk about how long I spent looking for that before I sent the Bond Blast. If you're not getting Bond Blast, please go to BonnieGillespie.com/Bond Blast, and sign yourself up. Get some Bond Blasts. I am happy to send emails to you. I'm trying to get a little more frequent and a little less precious about it, because I used to it's been recently that I've been sending emails only after I can spend hours writing them and working on stuff, and it's like, you know what, it does not have to be all that. We can actually get this stuff done and just shoot something off, and the people who want the information are going to be happy to have the information, and the people who don't want it they weren't going to want it more if I spent more time on it. Okay, and then this is where I have to redo the hair because of the bumps on my bumpy head. I don't actually have a bumpy head, but it looks like it. And this is where my Venus chart ruler is just cannot let it go. I know. Teresa actually wrote in on the comments one of these live streams and said, you left your hair down the whole time. And I said, you know why? I totally left my hair holder thingies in the other room. And since I didn't have any that I really like in here, the one that was in here was bad, which I ended up throwing out, I was can't put my hair up. And in a way, that is a good way to make that happen. Hello, Carla. So good to see you. Thank you for joining us. All right, so we got Danny, we got Deb Marie, we got Carla. So good to see y'all. Thank you for saying hello. Do you have all your supplies ready? Because in the February calendar, or any calendar, we have 6 steps that we do, and I've got them. That's why I moved that over there. So I've got 6 steps. Highlight. If you want this calendar, it is linked in your description of this here YouTube. And hey, replay crew, say hello. Thank you so much for watching in replay. So those of us here live, we're going to do this together. We got 6 steps. We got 6 steps for you watching in replay too, but here they are. We are going to go through the eclipses, the new moons, full moons, the arrows, which are the directions of the energy, the phases of the moons, the signs the moon moves through. And I know I say moons plural, use your moons, because each time the moon moves into a different sign, it is a different moon, but it is technically a moon. And then step 6, that's the color coding. We love that. This is all super fun. It's a nice box of 28 days of February. How much do I love that the calendar actually fits exactly like that? 4x7. That's just too cute. All right, so the first job is always find our eclipses. And our eclipses get a big X across them. Get ready. It's coming. We're entering eclipse season. And technically, eclipse season starts a week before the first eclipse and goes until a week after the last eclipse. So it is actually a lot longer than just the 2 weeks between the eclipses. But we are going to pay attention to specifically the eclipse day. And the eclipse day is the 17th. And so I'm putting a big X across the 17th. What does it mean? Yeah, I put a big X across the 17th because we've got an eclipse. Now, eclipses are not so terrifying that they have to get a big X and we have to stay in bed and hide. It just means from a scheduling perspective, eclipses deliver energy that is less predictable. And if we're looking at our schedule to schedule things, we kind of don't want to bake into the schedule something that's unpredictable. Unless that's what we're hoping for, unless that's the energy we're going for. There's a lot of power and a surge of energy during the eclipses, and you could just ask anyone who's ever worked as a cop or in a school or at a hospital, especially emergency room. People are feral during eclipses, and there's always more energy and more action in these populations and in all of our worlds during eclipses. So it's just a time to put that in mind. And then I'm going to put over here, way down here, that on 3/3/26, we have another eclipse. So even though that is next month, I'm putting it here because I want us to remember that this is a whole time of eclipses, even though we're not going to see March during today's work through. But what that means is, boom, we are now done with step 1. Next, itchy, 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 itchy. What does itchy nose mean? I know itchy palm means money's coming. Itchy nose means what? What does that mean? What are the superstitions in your life? What does itchy nose mean? Aside from Santa Ana winds here in Los Angeles, and I am definitely in need of some antihistamine. What's it mean where you are? Okay, so new moon, full moon. Now, because this particular eclipse is a solar eclipse, which is a kind of a new moon, I'll put an NM up here in parentheses, that is happening on the 17th, and I'll go ahead and give you time to. It's happening at 4:01 a.m. PST. Okay. That means we're not looking for another new moon in February. Our one and only new moon event is actually a solar eclipse, and therefore treated differently. We don't do new moon intentions. We don't plant seeds for where we want to be under a solar eclipse. And a lunar eclipse. Under any kind of eclipse, we want to cover our crystals. We want to clean our witchy tools. We want to reset our altars. It is not a time for putting the crystals out in the light of the full moon lunar eclipse. It's too much energy. Crystals get broken with that much energy being infused into them. We don't want to set intentions because, again, we're going to bake into those intentions that unpredictability. And so unless you very specifically want that unpredictability and intensity of the eclipse baked into your intentions, you want to treat these a little differently. But so we're now not going to be looking for a new moon, but we are going to be looking for a full moon because we are going to definitely have one of those before we get into this eclipse season. And that full moon is going to be on February 1st. So we're getting a move you chimes. Thank you. Very nice. We're going to go full moon on the 1st of February. And that full moon 1st of February is going to happen at 2:09 p.m. PST. And that will be the energy for doing a release ceremony or something like that. Fine to charge your crystals, fine to make moon water under the full moon, lots of full moon ritual stuff, totally fine there. It's only these two, February 17th and March 3rd, that we want to pause our usual new moon, full moon ritual, which is new moon intention setting, full moon release. That's the rhythm. Now, boom, number 2 is done, new moon, full moon. Now we're going to do our arrows. So the energy is always moving either up, waxing toward a full moon, or it is moving down, waning off a full moon toward a new moon. And then from a new moon, waxing up to the next full moon, waning down after that full moon to our next new moon. Okay, so that means off this full moon, immediately, the energy changes from having been going up all through the end of January to going down. So we're now doing step 3, our arrows, and that means we are doing the direction down. And if you don't like to do one day at a time and you want to just do one big arrow across the whole week, you certainly can. I will be doing this all the way across each one individually. My handwriting is messy when I have these little gloves on. Okay, and then the energy is down, 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 down till we get to this, what would have been a new moon, solar eclipse energy. And then off that, the energy is moving back up. Now remember, we're in eclipse season now. This period of time here, even though the energy is moving up, it's got eclipse energy. Intense, 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 and that's all moving all the way until we get to March 3rd, which is the technically lunar eclipse, but would have been a full moon were we not in eclipse season. So from there, boom, we've marked up the arrows. I'm going to do a quick check without even changing my camera view to see if the chat needs me. Hello, good to see you, Jackie. So glad you are able to chat this time. I know that was an issue before. Glad you're here. Your nose was itching earlier. Okay, all right. Itchy nose was Kiss a Fool, where I grew up and who I grew up with. Itchy nose, Kiss a Fool. All right. I'll go kiss my boyfriend again. I mean, he's no fool. He landed me. I mean, he's no fool. You know, I like that. Itchy nose, kiss a fool. Okay. I'll do that. All right, now let's do the phases. So you may say, Bonnie, you've already done phases. You've done full moon, new moon. You've done these eclipses. These are all phases. Technically, yes, but there are 8 phases that we want to honor in the Use Your Moons calendar. We want to go through and plant each of these as sort of a place to pivot the energy, to shift a little bit. It's not a 180 degree shift like between the full moon and the new moon, but it is a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more. I'm giving you each of your 45 degrees, and then, you know, obviously one of those is a 90 degree because 45 plus 45 is 90. I know, math. I was promised no math. Okay, after the full moon, we have the very next phase that we really pay attention to is the disseminating moon. Technically, it's all disseminating off the full moon, but we still call it the full moon until we get to that exact degree of 45 degrees off that full moon. And that's when we get a disseminating moon on the 5th of February. And that disseminating moon sits there on the 5th. That then generally means we're going to have another phase that we're looking at somewhere around here, because we want to go 1, 2, and then it's going to probably be 1, 2, and then it's going to be 1, 2, because we get those 2 phases per week, and they are kind of like spread equally in all that way. And that's one of the beautiful predictabilities of doing lunar tracking, which I love. And so sure enough, on the 9th, we're going to have our last quarter moon phase. Okay. So the energy of disseminating is we've come off that full moon. We're now going to, like, the performance was the full moon. We're now in disseminating moon, going to just take a look. We're going to do recon. We're going to make sure, not recon, we're going to do postmortem. We're going to do a how did our show go? And what have we learned? What do we need to do in terms of notes for next time? And then from there, it's going to be strike set. It's time to start getting things put away from that performance. That last quarter moon is the last burst of energy before we go into the balsamic phase. And the balsamic phase is the quietest, darkest, most private of all the phases. It's when we really want to turn within and do some inner magic. It's when we want to try and do less peopling, like to the extreme if possible. But that last quarter moon is the last big opportunity to have like a burst of energy before we get into that balsamic moon. And using our pattern here, the balsamic moon should be the 13th, and it is. That balsamic moon, like I said, darkest, quietest, privatist of the phases. Then we have what would have been a new moon, but it is in fact a solar eclipse for February of 2026 on the 17th. And then that means the phase that we go to after that is going to be a crescent moon. And it is, I would have said it was going to be on the 21st, but because of how early in the wee hours we get that eclipse, we're actually going to have our crescent moon late in the day on the 20th. And so the crescent moon is the energy is moving up off that new moon, or in this case eclipse, and we're moving up off that energy and into that crescent moon, which is where we really start to see enough light that if we had been planting seeds under that new moon, we're able to start to see what is possibly going to take root and sprout there. It is we're starting to get excited about what we are building and what we're building toward. Where we get really excited about things is when we get our first quarter moon. And that happens a week after what would have been the new moon, but in this case is, in fact, a solar eclipse. So first quarter moon, we are now at, bam, we are at a square between the moon and the sun, and this is an energy of pressure, of getting things out the door, making things move, feeling like some out there energy around all the things. And then do we have another phase before we end? Oh, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, just had to get that where I could see it. On the 27th, we move into a gibbous moon. And the gibbous moon is that waxing moon that is larger than the first quarter moon. So it's not like the half moon that we can see visibly. It's almost like, ooh, we could see the moon's getting thick. We're getting over toward that full moon, or in this case, a lunar eclipse, which we will have on March 3rd of 2026. So now we've done the phases that take place between those new moons, full moons, eclipses, etc. So the next thing up is going to be the signs. So now I'm going to come off this for a second, check on y'all in chat. Late to the show, but so happy to be here. Estrella, I'm so happy that you are with us. Thank you for joining us. It is always a pleasure to see folks jumping in the chat. February is a lot, y'all. I'm going to tell you, this energy is pretty intense. Like I said, I was looking over the schedule. I did a lot of like writing things in the schedule. I was looking at the woo weather and putting it on my calendar and looking at my schedule among all the things, and I just went woo. And so I wrote in a bunch of stuff that we're going to be talking about in Live Your Chart, which is my ongoing membership where we do the calendar every month and also do hot seats and a topic specifically and how you're going to be using the energy of the month ahead. If you want information on that, go to liveyourchart.com. We would love to have you join us. I also should mention that I will be doing a live stream. I think my next live stream is going to be, my next live stream is going to be at the end of January, and it's not going to be about the eclipses. The live stream that I do in early February is going to be about the eclipses. I think that is in fact the case. I'm not sure what my topic is for the last live stream in January, but I'm definitely going to be having another live stream. It's because I'm trying to do like 3 live streams a month, 2 with topics and 1 that's use your moon. That's working so far. So, and of course, thank you so much for joining me. It does absolutely thrill me to be able to share this time with y'all and get to play with my markers and my cameras and just showing you the woo weather of the now. We definitely have some big features that we are feeling. This is some of the intensity that I'm going to start talking about momentarily. We have lots of things at late degrees of our water and earth signs, and we're about to have some things at the early degrees of fire and air signs. It is quite the time to be in a skin suit, a temporary skin suit as souls and whatnot. The numerology of February and February 1st, please. Yes, I will absolutely share that with you. Thank you for asking. So the entire 2026 is a 1 year, which means the numerology of 2026 is we're planting seeds, we're getting things going, we are launching the ideas that have come to us. We are really prepping ourselves for the 9-year cycle ahead. February is a 3-month in a 1 year. And so February has the energy of let's celebrate, let's start to manifest, let's actually see the results of some of the seeds that we've already been planting in previous cycles and in previous months. And the 1st of February 2026 is a 4-day numerologically. So that will help you map out the whole rest of the month, because from 4 we go to 5, and we end on a 4 as well, because 28 days. I love the cycle so much. Oh my gosh, February is such a cute month. I love it. So thank you for asking, because I do know that numerology is definitely an activity of some of the fine folks here. I did a live stream on numerology of 2026 and your natal and numerology for the year. I will link that in the description after we are done with the live. Michelle determined to make all of the Zooms this year. I love that pledge. Oh, I love that pledge. Michelle, yes, please. Oh my gosh, I love it. I think that's a fantastic commitment to make, and I'm excited to see you as many times as possible. Fabuloso. All right, let me take a sip, and then we're going to get into step 5, which is the signs. This moves very fast until we get to signs and colors. Then we slow down a little bit. All right, let's do the signs. We are in a Leo moon as we start February. This is a full moon in Leo. So we got that fire, Leo full moon. And we got that Leo in our divination dice today, so I love it. Leo representing. We move into a Virgo moon late on the 2nd of February, and we have that Virgo moon until early wee hours on the 5th, and then we move into a Libra moon, and then we've got Libra moon until midday on the 7th, and then we've got a Scorpio moon, and then we're in Scorpio moon until the last quarter moon. Yep. And then shortly after the last quarter moon, we move into a Sagittarius moon. And that last quarter moon is when the sun is in Aquarius, the moon is in Scorpio. Those are both fixed signs. So you can always tell that we're in a new moon, full moon, last quarter, first quarter, when the moon is in the same modality. And modality would be cardinal, fixed, mutable, as the sun. And so while the sun is in Aquarius, Aquarius is a fixed sign, fixed air sign, we are always going to be looking at when is the moon in a fixed sign, and then that's going to give us those squares and oppositions. And so that is Scorpio, fixed sign. That last quarter moon is right before we move from the Scorpio moon into the Sagittarius moon. And again, thank you, Deb Marie, for sending me the post I could not find from my own damn Instagram because Zuckerberg, not cute. Not cute locking me out of my Instagram and then making me send you a video selfie of my face so that y'all could do biometrics on me and get me back into my account. I'm not amused. Your AI can go suck a dick. Okay. All right. So then we move into, after the Sagittarius moon, we go on the 12th into our Capricorn moon. All right. And then we have the Aquarius moon late on the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day weekend. And we then get a new moon solar eclipse while the moon is still in Aquarius. That's a long ass Aquarius moon. And then we move into the Pisces moon while we're still on the 17th. So pardon me for having written all of this part over here on my left-handed side, because this is actually the Aquarius moon that we're experiencing as we get all of that going on. And also while I'm here, I'm going to mark that here we move into Pisces sun off the Aquarius sun. So when we color code, I will explain that marcation. This is one of those very bizarre months when it's like so early that we change zodiac signs, but I kind of love it. This is a really interesting season for me, just in general, where it falls in my chart and the stuff that it lights up, and I'm always very inspired by this kind of energy. We get our Aries moon midday on the 19th. We get a Taurus moon late afternoon on the 21st, which is another fixed sign. And we would say, wait, fixed sign Taurus with fixed sign Aquarius sun equals first quarter moon? Sun moved into Pisces, so now we're waiting until the moon moves into a mutable sign before we get our first quarter moon. So when do we move into Gemini? On the night of the 23rd, and then we get our first quarter moon on the 24th. See how that happened? Isn't that cute? All right, then I need this to be up on a thing so I can see it better. All right, we get our Cancer moon late on the 25th, and we get our Leo moon early wee hours on the 28th. That is not an attractive Leo symbol. Okay, again, with my hands all wrapped up, it is a little harder to write what I'm writing. I'm pitiful. My joints. Okay, yes, we're having an EDS episode. All right, I've now done all the signs, and now we're going to do some coloring. Boom! All right. Ready? Let's color. I'm going to grab my yellow highlighter first and get this place where the sun changes signs, because that is an important shift in our Pisces sun from Aquarius sun. That season change, we always want to make sure we note that, because as the seasons change, sun sign wise, that is a whole different place in our chart, assuming we're using whole sign astrology, which is what I encourage, especially if you are newer to this. And I'm not new to this, and I still use whole signs. So I grew up using Placidus. That's what Mom and I learned using, because whole sign hadn't been like re-established as the earliest, if not the earliest house system, certainly one of the first couple of house systems, and arguably the first house system. And it wasn't until way later in astrology that we started using quadrant house systems like Placidus, where we let the ascendant, the rising, set the houses. In whole sign system, it's just each sign is a house, and I really like that helps us with getting the relationships very clear. And then, of course, if we want to dive into something a little more granular, we can go into quadrant-based astrology, like Regiomontanus is also really good. I like using that for decumbrature charts and other medical astrology uses. For horary, we use, I think, Porphyry. Anyway, there are a bunch of different house systems, and that's a whole other conversation to have. But what I like about using this in whole sign houses is then I go, okay, the sun is now going to be lighting up this particular house in my chart. And what does that house have in it? And what does that mean is going to be kind of energized by the sun as it makes the tour around my chart wheel? My nose is still itching. I'm like now convinced that I have like a tiny hair on my nose that I can't get rid of. This will be how I die. No, how I die will be a stray hair down inside my shirt, like tucked under a place that I can't get to it. And it just dangles on my back and I can't find it. That's going to be how I die. Okay, just so we know, when it says cause of death, hair dangling down back of shirt, that's what that means. Okay, just to make sure that's clear. All right, so let's do some color coding. I already did a little with that. We are going to start with our Leo moon. And that Leo moon is going to be fire, fire, fire. And we get that until we go into the Virgo moon. The moon phase of the full moon has a little bit of a green vibe to it and a little bit of a pink vibe to it. The full moon kind of brings almost like a Libra tone to it. Oh, but by the way, for those of you who like to do planetary days of the week, Sunday, Sun's Day, Tuesday, Mars Day, it's also orange. Monday, Moon's Day, blue, 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 blue. Wednesday, Mercury's Day. Love planetary days of the week. Thursday, Jupiter's Day. Magic. This is purple plus sparkles. I don't have sparkles on me, but put sparkles on that. Friday, Venus Day. Green, 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 green. Love, money, enoughness. Date night. And then Saturday, Saturn's Day. Daddy Saturn. Basic black. Keep it simple. Back to basics. I totally just wrote on myself. Like, I think I'm going to get that Sharpie off if I lick it fast enough. Oh, I did definitely take it down a little bit. Bleep. All right, so back to color coding the moons. That Virgo moon, she black. So we're going to have the black energy of the Virgo moon. She's very serious, she's very detail-oriented. Then we move into our Libra moon, and Libra moon gives us pink for the air. Let me put some here. Pink for the air. How early? Okay, this is got a little bit of pink there too. And green for the Libra being ruled by Venus of it all. Okay, and then that disseminating moon brings in an energy of, let's see, my disseminating moon is a black phase of the moon. All right, follow that. Then we move into our Scorpio moon. Scorpio, even more complex than Libra. We've got some black for the depth. Scorpio, Scorpio. And then we've got blue because water sign. And then we've got a little bit of green, because you can balance the budget like nobody's business during Scorpio moon. All right, excellent. So that gets a Scorpio. And then that last quarter phase. The last quarter phase is going to give us a pink and black, almost like an Aquarius energy. That last quarter phase says, let's do it, like get the basics taken care of, like Saturn ruled. It's Aquarius energy, but it's active and air sign like an Aquarius. All right, then we move into Sagittarius moon. No question. Fire moon, fire moon, fire moon. Oh my gosh, look at all that fire. When do we move into Capricorn moon? Okay, there. Late enough in the day that I'm going to put a little bit of fire on that. We got lots of fire on that fire moon. Capricorn moon, Daddy Saturn all day. So this is always interesting. When the arrows start moving down, but we get these fire moons, it's like, okay, good news. While the energy is waning, moving down, slow, slow, slow. We get this burst of energy because of the sign that the moon is in. So we can use that to do a little more activity than we might usually do as the moon's energy is going down, down, down. Or it could be you feel a real push-pull, just depending on how sensitive you are to all of that combination. But once we're in the Capricorn moon, it's all this black. The Aquarius moon is both black and pink. So we will do both. Look at all this. All right. So there's black for the Saturn rulership of Aquarius. And then there's pink because it's an air sign, which means it's going to be chatty. Every time the moon moves into Aquarius, I go, honey, Aquarius moon. And he goes, oh, we're not going to shut up, are we? And I go, no, we're not going to shut up. We're not going to shut up. All the air moons, you're not going to shut up, but especially Aquarius moon. You have all the ideas. All the ideas. All right. Now, that balsamic moon phase, don't think I missed that. That is blue for no people. No people. N-O people. The key for that is right up here in this calendar that's linked in my description. Blue for no people, black for declutter, orange for take action, pink for multitask, green for money honey, and purple for magic. Okay. So balsamic has magic. It's both no people and magic. Okay. Then we have the eclipse. The eclipse got that big X all over it. So even though there are other colors that we would normally bring to this day, we're going to say that just really needs to be eclipse. Keep it simple. Basics, basics, basics. And because the moon then moves into Pisces, blue, no people. Then we move into Pisces season. We've got the Pisces moon. Woo! Look at that week. Tell me, are you rethinking your schedule for that week? Oh, just wait. Just wait till I do the bonus of layering on some of the non-moon astrology, which I normally don't do in Use Your Moons, but I'm going to do today because February is so a lot. We will be diving in deeper on this in Live Your Moons. So those of you who are members of Live Your Moons, or those of you who would like, not Live Your Moons, Live Your Chart. So for those of you who are members of Live Your Chart, we are going to go deeper on all of this February stuff and how to use the eclipses, obviously. But also, if you would like to join us in Live Your Chart, I have a legacy rate that I can offer you. And I will put the code in the description because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Is it as simple as legacy? Is that the code to get the lower price? Or did I just go ahead and put it at legacy price on the sales page? I can't remember. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you because I would love for you to be able to join us in Live Your Chart, where we do this kind of conversation every month. And I know financially it's rough for everybody, us included. So we are trying to find ways to make things more accessible and also continuing to offer free things like this so that I don't, the way to engage with me is not only if you have money, because I get it. Fire moon. Aries, Aries, Aries. Now that energy's moving up, up, up. We're into that crescent moon phase. And once we get into the crescent moon phase, we've got a little extra. So here we are on a Venus day. So you see, oh, look at, I love it. I love it. I love it. And then wait, we get a Taurus moon ruled by Venus. Love, money, enoughness. Let's do it. Let's do it. Then we get that Gemini moon, air sign. Give me that pink. Give me that pink. Give me that pink. First quarter moon, and that first quarter moon phase is fiery. It's got an orange burst to it. Okay. All right. I see what you're doing here. Last week of February. I see what you're doing here. Not mad at it. Cancer moon, Cancer moon, Cancer moon. A little bit of Cancer moon. What time do we get the, we don't have any Cancer moon on the 28th. We get the Leo moon super right after midnight Pacific. The gibbous moon is, let's see, what is my gibbous moon? What is my gibbous moon? I think that is the Virgo energy. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's going to get a little serious. Let's hunker down because we got a full moon coming and we need to start paying real close attention like a stage manager with a clipboard, wearing a black turtleneck. All right. Oh, and a headset. Always a headset. Okay. And then there is our Leo. That is our color-coded Use Your Moon's calendar for February of 2026. Ah! Okay. I was sitting on my feet and therefore my socks, and I can't just have one sock off, so we gotta have both socks off. All right. All right. Let's talk about the energy of this adding on some of the non-moon astrology. Let me just for a sec here say, I wrote a blog post in, I want to say 2024, that was, maybe it was even late 2023, that was like about the astrology of 2024, 2025, 2026. And it was just hey, let me just go ahead and tell y'all straight. It's going to be a lot. Things are going to start moving a lot faster. We are going to be, what timeline is this? I took a wrong turn on some dimensional plane, and I'm convinced we've been on an alternate timeline since like 2016, maybe even 2015, but definitely, yeah. The astrology of 2024, 2025, 2026 specifically is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And here we are now at 2026, where it's about to stop being all back and forth, and start being, it's just this fast all the time. It's fast. It's so fast. Is your nervous system prepared for this amount of fast? Does your heart know how to take all of the chaos of it? No, nervous system's kind of not built for this. It's a lot. It is very important that we have ways to ground ourselves. One of the things that I promised we're going to talk about in here today is some techniques for taking your energy into safer places. February is going to really challenge some of that, specifically because we have a lot of Uranus action. Uranus is not moving into Gemini until April, and that is going to be a real line in the sand of before and after in our lives. But February is a close second to that energy, and for some people will be even more impactful. The Astrology podcast folks, Chris Brennan and Lisa Scheim, I know she doesn't always do astrology podcasts with Chris, but they do an electional report every year. And they were saying specifically that this, especially February eclipse season, we are going to be seeing a lot of things happen that feel like destruction and tearing down and collapsing. And there will be things happening that are also, when looked back upon, they will be labeled as the major things that changed us for the positive and the good. But we're not going to be witnessing what those things are necessarily as a collective in February. We just have to trust that they are happening. And trust gets really difficult the more rattled the nervous system. And there's a big agenda against keeping us all from feeling safe. So take care of your own self-soothing. What kinds of comforts do you need? What sorts of treats can you give yourself so that you feel safe? Comfort food, comfort television, like not watching snuff films, no matter how many times they show them, because your brain really has strong reactions to those types of things. And while you say, well, I've got to be made aware, great, be made aware of the news by watching the late night TV monologues or The Daily Show or Josh Johnson comedy. Josh Johnson's stand-up is the best. He did his set that premiered on Tuesday of this week it was called literally Ice versus Good. And it was about the murder of Renee Nicole Good. And the energy in the live stream or the premiere of the set was, oh, we need this. Oh, thank you. You're going to frame this in a way that is going to help us be able to not just rock back and forth crying constantly. And so even though a lot of us cried during his stand-up, there was something about the way he was presenting it, and this is always true for Josh, he's just phenomenal, that gives us a little bit of, okay, I can take it. I can be present for this experience and not let it break me. And when we feel like, nope, it's going to break me, ice cream. Or the protocol for all eclipses, and as we're moving into eclipse season, safe to say, protocol for the entire month of February, if you need it, is rest, hydration, bubble wrap. And bubble wrap is my word, or 2 words. I like to say bubble wrap is a single word because I say it like a single word, but whatever. Bubble wrap is the term for put an extra layer of packing materials, buffer, whatever it is, around you, around your heart, around your soul, around your sensitive bits, whatever that represents for you. So big Uranus energy in this month, and we also have some big astrological shifts that I'm going to put on the calendar, even though I don't usually. And if you're like, nope, I just came here for the moon stuff, cool, we're done with that, and I will come back to the chat and check your questions, but I want to go ahead and put just a few of these other events, and then we'll hang on, don't leave, people that I just told to leave. The overall energy is one last lap that we will do. The time code in the description will say when we're coming back to do that. But first I want to get into some of the non-moon astro that's going on. On the 3rd, Uranus is going direct in Taurus. So this, on the 3rd, is going to be giving us a power surge of energy in late degrees Taurus. So things that started in 2018 in the Taurus house of your chart, we are looking on the 3rd for it to start being like, okay, now all of that's getting wrapped up. And this is between now and February, we are going to be finishing Uranus in Taurus. And this is likely to bring weather issues and natural disasters and things happening in terms of our Earth, Taurus, our Earth, and Uranus. Let's fuck shit up. Where am I not free? Let's create some chaos. That's, Uranus's signature. So yay. Then on the 5th, we have Mercury squaring Uranus. Okay, cool. So Uranus is already like planet of where am I not free? Let's fuck shit up. And Mercury squares it and says, let's do that to our communication. Let's create some excitement. Are these advances or are these bits of chaos? And we'll probably see things used for both with that. Then on the 8th, during the Super Bowl, we have Venus squaring Uranus. Yay. Venus squaring Uranus could be a new relationship. Could be a whole new way of looking at love, money, enoughness. Could be values get disrupted. Again, we're probably going to see things happening in both directions of that. We do have on the 10th, Venus moving into Pisces and making a quick trine to Jupiter in a couple of weeks. Like during the time between the 2 eclipses, we're going to have Venus and Jupiter both in the signs of their exaltation, or as I like to say it, both in their Beyonce signs, and they will be making a trine to one another, and that's going to bring a lot of luck and a lot of optimism and a lot of abundance and shifts in places that are just love, 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 glow up, glow up, glow up. It's like it's 2 Beyoncés. What's better than 1 Beyonce? 2 Beyoncés. Could there ever be 2 Beyoncés? No, there's 1 Beyonce. But astrologically, we got we have Beyoncés all over the chart wheel because there is a sign in which each planet is in its Beyonce space. So just know that in this week, the second week of February, we do start getting into some like, ooh, the benefics are actually here to help me in some really great ways. On the 13th, Saturn moves into Aries. All right, so this Saturn moving into Aries is, here we go. Saturn's done with Pisces, which is where he showed up in early 2023. We're done with that part of Saturn helping us clear up our chaos and structure things in the most creative part of our charts. And now Saturn, Daddy Saturn, is going to be in Aries, struggling a little bit because it's hard for, it's like the anti-Beyonce placement. It's hard for Saturn to do his best in Aries because Aries is like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Saturn's like, slow it down, take time, back to basics. And Aries is just like, I have no time to even listen to these rules. Let's go. So that's going to be interesting. It's time to tighten the line. We have another square to Uranus on the 15th because, of course, we need lots and lots of squares to Uranus, right? Okay, this one's going to be Sun square Uranus, Right before the eclipse. Sure. Let's do that. Sun square Uranus. That's going to possibly be physical body. It's definitely going to be goals and leadership. Get a little bit of a reset here. We're going to have some optimism and good energy around our words and communication on the 16th, on the 17th. Fat Tuesday, Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, Random Acts of Kindness Day, the eclipse. It's a lot. It's a lot. Not only do we have these squares baked into Uranus, and because the sun has just had this square with Uranus before the eclipses, it means the eclipse is going to have a Uranus flavor to it. Great. It's happening in Aquarius, which is the modern sign, which is ruled in modern astrology. It is the sign ruled by Uranus. So it's just baked all up in there. And what else is in Aquarius? Pluto. What is Pluto? The Tower card. The burn it to the motherfucking ground transformation card. Cool. The planet of transformation. The mob boss, as Rachel Lang calls it. I love that. So it's a lot. That eclipse is a lot. Okay. So if that's not clear, boy, I hope it is now. Eclipse, that's a lot. Great. Do we need more wacky astrology? Oh, yes, we sure do. On the 20th, we have Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees, 44 minutes, Aries. This is the first time this has happened at this degree in this sign since 1308, I think I have listed as the correct amount of time. Now, Saturn and Neptune hook up every like 33 years in different places, different signs, different times, different degrees. But the 0 degrees Aries thing is really significant. You're going to hear everybody who does astrology talking about this if you haven't already started hearing about it. The 20th of February, this great conjunction is at what's called the world point. Aries, 0 degrees, the world point. It is a reset. It's the start of the zodiacal experience. It is a reset of what is real. We're going to see shifts in leadership. We're going to see shifts in, because Neptune's involved, what is real. We're going to really be seeing some structures crumble, and we're also going to be not sure what is actually truly happening and what we're being told is happening. And we're already seeing a lot of that with, AI slop and nonsense like that. I need a button. YouTube, I need a button that is, when I watch something that is AI, I say, don't give me anything else like this. I don't want any AI voiceovers. I don't want any AI created nonsense in the video. I certainly do not want channels that do nothing but AI. I don't want ads that are using AI. And you need to have a preference that I can set, just like I can set a profanity filter. I want to set an AI filter, and I don't want no fucking AI. And you can tell what's AI and what's not. So I need this, YouTube, and I want y'all on that, okay? Because especially as we're heading into this next era, we need to be able to police that in all the proper policing terms. Okay. Aforementioned glow up of Venus and Jupiter getting really serious here. So I'm going to put some little hearts here to give us something to believe in. And then we're going to have a little Mercury retrograde energy. Not a little. Mercury retrograde energy in a water sign. Mercury is already not great in Pisces. And we're going to have Mercury retrograde in Pisces, because let's add miscommunication to eclipse season. Let's do that. That sounds great. Oh, wait, you thought we were done? We're not done. On the 27th, we get Mars squaring Uranus right before we go into the next eclipse. Yay. Mars says, let's fight. Squaring Uranus, the planet of let's fuck shit up. All right. We're going to create some instability for the purpose of freedom here at this end of the month, February. So now let's talk about this energetically and get any questions that you have in the chat. For those of you who are here with me live, obviously, replay crew, use the comments area. People coming back after the live, use the comments area. I always check back on you. All right. Here's what we've got. I'm going to use this as my pointer. Good, bright energy gets more organized and more structured And coming off that full moon, we start slowing down. The energy becomes a little less available to us. This Libra energy, Libra moon energy at the end of the first week of February is really good for getting things done with partners, for communicating clearly. This is before we're in the shadow of Mercury retrograde, so we really do have some good energy here in this first week of February. Once we get into this Scorpio moon is a little challenging, and we've got the square from Mercury happening, the square from Venus happening, and we're moving down, down, down in energy. Then we get the brightness of this Sagittarius moon giving us the fire to get some things done. And so let's call this from the last quarter moon till the moon moves into Capricorn, another sign the moon doesn't do so well in. And I find it fascinating that Scorpio and Capricorn are just one sign. There's one sign between them, Sagittarius. And so it's like we struggle when the moon is in Scorpio because the feelings are too intense. They are too, like, just emotions everywhere. And we're sure that something's wrong. What did I get wrong? What did I do wrong? And then we get a break because Sagittarius moon, and we're like, oh, okay, that's over. And then immediately go into Capricorn moon, where the moon says rest, rest, rest. And Capricorn says, I will rest when I am dead. I will climb this mountain right now. It is restful for me to get to the top of the mountain and then look down on everybody that is lower than me on this mountain that I just climbed. Did you see that thing I did there? So we are moving into this balsamic moon, which says rest, no people, shut it down, while we're in Capricorn moon, as Saturn moves into Aries, which he struggles with. So this weekend is going, please don't people. Don't people for Valentine's Day. I know. And then we're going to get the Aquarius moon, and it's going to make us feel like chatty. I want to talk. I want to be social, but we're going to get this Sun square Uranus, and it's not going to feel great. And then we move into this eclipse. So pretty much, I'm going to say the 12th is where I'm going to declare the chart harmony line for eclipse protocol. Rest, hydrate, bubble wrap. Okay. Then we have the Pisces moon. Pisces moon, very creative, but escapist. We may want to just kind of like hide from the world. That's totally okay. I absolutely recommend that, because even though we are now moving up in energy, that Pisces moon is saying, but peopling is still a little touch and go, and we do have a lot of energy coming off that eclipse. And then, of course, we get that world point conjunction between Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees, 44 minutes Aries. That is going to be a whole thing. Now, will it be like, oh, an event? Not necessarily. These are slow outer planets. It will mark a turning point of some kind, and this could be the kind of thing that we have to look back historically and go, that's what was going on at that time. We may not know, because Neptune being involved means we could be lied to about it, we could be deceived about it, we could be thinking it's one thing and it's really something else. Neptune likes to obscure what we're actually looking at. It likes to tell stories. Neptune is the magic 8-ball, reply hazy, try again later. It's really challenging. Okay, reply hazy, try again later. Reply hazy, try again later. Neptune really doesn't want to give us the answer. So maybe you don't need any answers. Maybe that's the theme for February. Don't need any answers. Don't ask why. Not because you don't care, and not because that's not important, but because you're not going to really get an answer. Not yet. It's going to be a while. Okay, then the energy moves up. We get this nice little kiss on the 22nd. Use it. That is a benefic mwah, mwah, mwah kiss. Then as the energy moves up and we move out of the Taurus moon, which is Beyonce moon. So wait, look at this day. The 22nd has not only the moon in Taurus, which is Beyonce placement, but a trine between Jupiter in Cancer, Beyonce placement, and Venus in Pisces, Beyonce placement. We have 3 Beyoncés, and I made 3 hearts. It's like I knew. I actually wasn't even thinking about that when I made these 3 hearts. I love the 22nd. I want to marry it, except it's in eclipse season. It's a little challenging. But if I can marry a day, if I have to pick a day I'm going to marry, I like that day a lot. Okay. Then Gemini moon, first quarter moon, lots of energy, lots of get shit done. Just remember, Mercury goes retrograde on the 25th. And in general, the day Mercury goes retrograde and the day it goes direct can be the wonkiest of its whole retrograde experience. Mercury retrograde protocol: don't start no shit, don't sign no shit. It is very important to not initiate under Mercury retrograde. You will bake into the birth chart of whatever you begin that miscommunication. And so we want to try and sign contracts and back up tech in the first half of February, so that in that Mercury retrograde, we are not having to do things that could go wonky in terms of technology, communication, contracts, all of that. Then we get that Mars square Uranus. That could be a little owie. And we're in a Cancer moon, so we're going to be feeling all the feelings. And then that Leo moon is going to feel really good, and we want to do bright outside things. Go ahead and do those. As we move into March, just remember that we've got another eclipse coming on March 3rd. This month is a lot. Did I scare you? Sorry. I mean, it's what it is. It's what it is. All right. What do we got? What do we got? Sagittarius moon's missing purple magic. Thank you. Let's go back. Let's go back. Thank you. Sagittarius moon. Purple magic. You're right. Thank you. Magic, magic, magic. Thank you. Okay, now take a screen grab of that. You're like, Bonnie, it's a mess. Why would I want to take a screen grab of that? I don't know. I take screen grabs of all sorts of nonsense. And then I don't name them or file them. So I just have a billion screen grabs named screenshot, whatever, date, time. I know. It's great. It's great. All right. Highly recommend Live Your Chart. Michelle, thank you. Live Your Chart is so much fun. I love it too. It is just some of my favorite time of everything. Getting to show up for Live Your Chart. Like, just to spend time talking astrology. Get in the hot seat. What issues are you having? Let's look at your chart compared to the astrology of the now or the coming month. Let's check dates. Let's get in there. Let's get under the hood. Let's see what we're dealing with. I love it. I love it. No, but it is a lot of woo weather. All right, Holly, good. Good. I'm glad that it wasn't too scared making. Questions. We just hit the hour mark. Yay us. This was kind of like more than a Use Your Moons. This was a full astro overview of February 2026. I mean, not full, because the full has a whole bunch more. That's the Live Your Chart draft. And then it goes into Canva. And then it gets to y'all. I will be sending out the Live Your Chart prep email over the weekend. I will be sending out the revisioning Aquarius body prep email over the weekend. And I will be sending out the Aligned MCs Astrology for Creatives prep email over the weekend. This is a weekend. All right. I got mixed up with moon signs and body parts. Okay. All right, Michelle, let's see. Do we avoid or do stuff? Example. Manicure okay under Gemini moon. Pedicure okay under Pisces moon. Massage okay under Cancer moon. But no to surgery when moon is in body part sign. Not quite. You almost have it. Yes. Let me take you to a web page that should have changed my screen to, I'm going to go off my little chart thing there and go to astroseek.com. Go to moon calendar. 81 degrees in Santa Monica. What? How did it get 81 degrees in January? Oh, I know, Santa Ana moons. Okay. All right. Ugh, so many ads. Don't hit this install button. It's not real. It's an ad. All of this. Ad. Don't click that. All right. So the first thing we do whenever we go to AstroSeek is always set to your local time zone, because even if you have cookies saved, it will take it back to just UT GMT. So I'm going to put in Santa Monica, California. Set. You set it for wherever you are. Okay, now we're set. So this is going to tell us what is the current moon phase and sign, not the color. It's orange with a little hint of purple for magic. Thank you, Carla. And we can look at the chart of the now if we want to. That's the same thing as if we were to look at my chart of the now. Okay, so here's what we want to do. From mooncalendar.astro-seek.com, we can always find this if we just keep scrolling, and the surgery column is what we're looking for, where it says no exclamation point is for sure don't go get surgery, don't do stuff with that body part. It's like telling you like the energy's too intense. And then when it's yes, schedule procedures. If you've got the luxury of not being in an emergency situation but needing to do something medically, like I need to deal with my teeth, let's teeth, I'm going to take either Aries because of the head, or I'm going to take Capricorn moon because of the teeth and bones being ruled by Capricorn, and I am going to set a dentist appointment during one of those moons, especially while there's yes. And if I can't get in during those particular moons, then I want to look at what are the color of those moons, and is there another moon of those colors that is also represented within this time before we get to the big no. Because then we get this big no here, and then nothing. This nothing means neutral, means this calendar is not voting. And so that's what the January makeup is. Obviously, if we want to go to February, which is what we've been talking about, we navigate it right there at the top. We can go all the way to the end of time. We can go way back in time. And then we see under the full moon, February 1st, no, exclamation point, take that seriously. And then we're yes for all of this until we get to our eclipse. Eclipse is no, and then we get ... So this is saying you're good for surgery or neutral. It's agnostic about your surgical procedure, this situation here. And I would say we do want to remember that eclipses do create unpredictability. And if there's something we are actually going to schedule, we would probably like it to be less unpredictable, because that's the whole point of doing something scheduling wise. But like, I have a kidney, like a test. I just have a test that my doctor has ordered that he wants me to take at some point between now and the next time I see him. And it's to measure some kidney function off a med that I've been taking that we want to make sure is not doing wonky things with my numbers. And so this would be a great time for me to go and get that test. And so I'm just like right now to myself going, perfect. It is not only a yes for surgery, not that I'm having surgery, I'm just going to go pee in a cup, but I'm going to go pee in that cup on like Thursday or Friday, February 5th or 6th, because that is already highlighted for doing that kind of work. And so that is the way I treat the body parts and that calendar specifically, Michelle, is I am always looking for how can I choose times that are like not a no, because when there's a no, it's like whatever reason it is, usually because of a full moon, new moon, it's saying it's just too much energy, eclipse, too much energy. But otherwise, when it says yes, especially, and not the dash, because the dash, it's just saying whatever. But the yes is like, it's actually favorable to do these kinds of things. So if you knew I'm going to schedule a nose job, great. What do we want to do for nose? We want to either do some Gemini action because of the breathing and the respiratory system and the lungs are all Gemini, or we want to do Aries because face. We want to do something when Mars is in good shape because cutting, and Mars rules, let's cut a bitch. So there are a lot of ways to look at it. And then, of course, this is before we even look at your chart and where this stuff is lining up with your chart. We want to make sure that we don't have anything too stressful in the medical astrology parts of your chart, which would be your first house, your sixth house, where your natal moon is. We want to make sure that those are all well taken care of, as well as the rulers of first house, sixth house. Yeah. Okay, my lunar return is on the 17th. Danny, you get bubble wrap for your lunar return. That's going to be an interesting baked in energy for your month. Take the lunar return that you still have coming in January and set some intentions for how you want the one in February to feel, knowing what you now know about the woo weather. Because I know you're doing your lunar return homework. Let me know if you have questions about that. Okay. Let's see. Holly says, excited joining Live Your Chart starting February. Yeah, Holly, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm excited. We will be glad to welcome you in. And of course, this goes for anybody who'd like to join us. We're happy to welcome you in. We're excited to get to know you. You do not have to be all public. You don't have to get on screen during the live Zooms and have your chart shown to the members. But most folks who are there live are like, yeah, I'm here for the hot seat action. And those meetings can go, as you might imagine, a little on the long side. I'm pretty proud of myself. I got through this one really quick for a Jupiter's Day and for adding on all the woo weather that was not moon related. I'm like, good job, girl. Because I put on my grounding darker color, even though I've got my Jupiter purple up in here and my sparkle in my eyeshadow because Jupiter's Day. Thank you for the reminder. I don't know why I keep getting tripped up on this concept. I need to remember Astro Seek. Michelle, don't worry about it. You got me. You are welcome to ask me, even if you have all the apps and websites available. I do not mind, because somebody else who was afraid to ask just got an answer because you were not afraid to ask. So just know, part of the reason you ask questions that you're like, oh, I should get this by now. No, you're asking because you're a leader and someone else needed that leadership. Don't worry about it. Absolutely my pleasure. Great. Okay, good, Danny. I'm glad. All right, February looks extra for sure. Yeah, it is. It is. So this is the part to remind yourself. When it feels like, oh my God, the world is so much, I just don't even know how to deal with this, go. And the astrology says, this is correct. This is how it is feeling. This is the deal. This is hashtag astrology good. That hashtag out there, astrology good, is used when we're like, boy, this is a shitty thing that's going on in the world right now, but the astrology is exactly as predicted. Hashtag astrology good. There's a lot hashtag astrology good coming up and has been going on for the past couple of years that we're like, please don't let it be what I think that could be. And it's just, it is what it is. We got Uranus moving into Gemini in April, and there has not been a Uranus in Gemini ever in the history of the United States of America that we were not involved in a war. And not like we're not calling it a war, it's just a conflict kind of war. I mean like a war. Yay! Aren't you glad you studied history so you wouldn't repeat it? Get a double dose of my lunar return on 2/1 and 2/28. Look at you, Leo Moon. You're getting 2 in February, the shortest month of the year, and you're going to get 2 lunar returns. I love it. Amazing, Michelle. Amazing. That makes me very, very happy for you. All right, last call. I love y'all. I'm going to delay for just a second because I know we do have a lag, and we're not quite at the top of the hour, and I don't mind going to the top of the hour. I got some money stuff that I got to deal with. I got to get in touch with the credit union again. I lost my shit on them last week because they charged me a charge because I dipped below a balance. I didn't go negative. I dipped below a $250 balance in my checking account. And I'm like, you couldn't have, seriously, you look at my entire story of banking over the history of time with this credit union that I joined when I was a kid actor. You're going to tell me these decades of all this money flowing through y'all and all the signature loans and book loans and all the credit lines and Keith's kids account, Coogan account, Keith's accounts, and you're going to charge me $7.95 and not tell me, not give me a heads up? I lost my shit. So now I have to like change my kind of banking so that never happens again. And I'm like, this is why people keep their money in their mattress. This is why people want to pull their money out of banks altogether. I don't trust you fuckers. All right, so that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go do some business. I'm also gonna get back in the creative cave. I am still building things for y'all, always the case. I get very excited about what I'm building. I have an Aquarius body slide in progress that I'm putting together for the revisioning population. Just burped, excuse me. All right, I don't see any final questions in the live chat, so thank you for joining me. Please take care of yourselves. Please expose yourself to as little information about what's going on in the world as necessary to feel informed. Don't turn it into a way to abuse yourself and your tender heart and your sweet soul and your empathy for others. It is really challenging for people with empathy to keep up with what's going on right now. And it seems so weird to say that, but one of the reasons there's so much nonsense happening is because people without empathy are making sure things stay as intense as possible for as long as possible. So we forget to notice that there are pedophiles being protected. Please always come back to that. Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. Stop grabbing oil. Stop grabbing greed. Release the Epstein files. Love y'all. Yes, you have a superb rest of your day as well. I love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. This has been a blast. I will see you on the next live stream. Check BonnieGillespie.com/events for when that will be. All right. See you over in the Chart Harmony Discord as well. And in the comments, in the replay. Hey, replay crew. Bye. That's it. We're done.